a theatre beginner but have struggled on what to do with sheet music for your auditions? Well, I'm about to give you some tips on that right now. Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who haven't met me yet, hi, my name is Kat. I do a lot of lifestyle and travel vlogging and theatre content here on YouTube, including tips, reviews, and reactions. And if that's something that you like, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you can see more videos coming your way. A lot of the time for amateur auditions, community theatre auditions, professional auditions, drama school, theatre college auditions, you need to make sure that you have sheet music with you. And if you're a theatre beginner and you don't know what to do with your sheet music or how to organize it, well, I'm about to give you some tips to help you out. First of all, make sure that the audition cut that you're doing makes sense. You're going to do a cut of the first verse and the first chorus and then jump straight to the end. Make sure that it actually makes sense. Go through it with an accompanist and see if it actually plays out nicely, it doesn't sound a bit confusing, and make sure that it actually makes sense when you're singing through it. If it doesn't make sense, don't do the cut or reorganize it so that it actually does make sense and the story makes sense. If you bring an audition cut that is very confusing, it doesn't make sense, then you are hindering your chances of doing a really good audition. Going on from that, the next tip I have is don't start the audition cut in the middle of the song. I will very freely admit that I have actually done this, and looking back on it now, it was one of the worst decisions that I have actually done in terms of auditions. It sounds really confusing. You do not have a beginning, a middle, and an end in terms of the audition cut. Really is just jumping into the song in the middle of nowhere. You can't really do that because you really need to give the song context in terms of where you're going from there. Don't start in the middle of the song. It again will hinder your chances of doing a really good audition. The next tip I have is make sure the audition cut that you're doing is written clearly on the paper. Anything that you write down on where you would like the accompanist to pause, where you would like a bit more of a faster speed in it, or where you want a repeat to happen, if you're writing it down, make sure it is written clearly. Don't scribble it on the paper and then hope that the accompanist can make it out. You need to make sure that it's written clearly. I personally use block letters, all capitals, to make sure that it is all written clearly on there and there's no way of there being any type of confusion. So make sure that everything is written clearly. And moving on from this, my next tip is don't use permanent marker. Please use a pencil. Let me show you an example of how horrible permanent marker can actually look. Yeah, she's not pretty. Yes, you can see where I've actually written the cuts in, but honestly, when you look up close, it looks horrible. It looks messy. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It looks awful. Permanent marker does nothing except ruin the beautiful sheet music that you have printed out. So whenever you are writing your audition cuts, make sure you write it in pencil. Another thing is, if I wanted to change this, I can't anymore because it's in permanent marker. I would have to print myself out a whole nother copy of this and I would have to do it all over again and make a different cut if I wanted to. Permanent marker will make sure that you can't actually change it, and you need to give yourself room to actually change the audition cut if you need to. So make sure you write everything in pencil. Now let me show you what it looks like with pencil. You can kind of see it, but it looks a lot nicer and it hasn't done anything to the sheet music, and really it looks a lot neater with pencil. So make sure that any modifications you do that you're writing down, make sure you write it in pencil, and that way you have the chance to change it. Another thing that you can do is make sure that you highlight everything that you feel that you need the accompanist to really take notice of. So as you can see, I've actually highlighted two things on this page, and I've got another highlight here. So what I've actually highlighted and what you can do, which will make the accompanist's job a bit easier and your job a bit easier, is I've actually written the tempo that I would like the accompanist to play. So here I've written minimum equals 68, fairly fast. I've also highlighted it to make it a note for the accompanist. I've written a bit simpler on the accompaniment because the accompaniment here actually is copying the melody lines. So I've written a bit simpler so that the accompanist can actually take out the melody line in their bars and they're just playing the pure accompaniment. So that way you don't have the piano playing the melody while I'm singing the melody. And on this page, I have highlighted the tiny little writ that is written there that I don't know if you can see because of the glare of my lighting. Just the tiny little one there. I highlighted the writ because that's the spot where it needs to slow down, because down at the bottom it's then going to go back to tempo. But I really made it a point to highlight that because the song is fairly fast and it comes up fairly quickly, so I really wanted to make sure that that was noted to the accompanist. So anything that you feel that actually needs to be made note of to the accompanist and that they need to take a notice of, make sure you highlight it so that it can actually be taken notice of. So another tip that I have is make sure you have multiple copies of the sheet music of the song that you are singing. So the first copy of of your sheet music is a copy that you are going to keep in a binder, just like this one, just a regular binder where the accompanist can just flip through the pages. The second one that you are going to have is one that is taped together. So this is one that I've got taped already. So it's going to be one that you've taped together like this. And then the third one that you are going to have is going to be your own copy that you can keep in any type of binder or folder with the rest of your sheet music, and that you can make your own notes on, because these ones are going to be ones for accompanists that you are going to give to them. So make sure that you have a third copy as well that you can actually write your own notes on and keep your own notes on your vocal technique or your placement or your vowel modifications. Make sure that you have those on a separate copy. So for example, I've got here Part of Your World from Little Mermaid, Howard Ashman, Alan Menken, classic, and I've got it here just in a regular binder. And then I've got another copy of it here, and this one is taped as a booklet. So if they ask for the music to be taped, I just whip this out and it's already there together, and then the accompanist can just flip through it as if it's a book like this, and it's a pretty neat trick. And then I've got my last one in a massive binder, and I've got notes all over it on what to do with my vowels. I've got my other folders here. A quick tip on taping your sheet music: make sure you put the sticky tape on the back of your sheet music and not the front, and don't tape the full length of the sheet music. For example, with my copy of Part of Your World, there's no tape on this part on the front. There is the sticky tape from about here all the way down to here. So I've left just about that much from the bottom to the top. Putting it on the back allows it to actually be folded and bent into a proper booklet like this one, and then you have no issues with it being overlapping, no issues with the folding, and it actually works out a lot better having it taped on the back of the sheet music and not on the front. If you guys want a proper tutorial on how to tape your sheet music together, please let me know in the comments below and I'll film that for you guys. I'm very happy to help you guys out with that. And another little extra tip I have is make sure to keep your sheet music in the one place. I have specific folders and binders for my sheet music. So I have my folder, plastic sleeve folder, where I keep it. I have one binder for ensemble sheet music that I've worked on and for pop music, and then I have another massive binder for the rest of my sheet music from all genres, from golden age to post golden age to contemporary. It's all in these folders. Now, I've been accumulating sheet music since I was little, and especially studying musical theatre, I have come up with so much more sheet music, and I really needed multiple folders for this. But obviously, if you're just starting out, I would say one binder, one plastic sleeve folder. Make sure you keep everything in the binder that you need. Add on when you bring in more sheet music to your repertoire, and I would have that plastic sleeve folder as my main ones that I'm working on. A lot of accompanists would rather have the plastic sleeve folder rather than a binder or rather than taped, but I do know that there are some places that really prefer taped sheet music over having them in a plastic sleeve folder. So that is why you really need two copies. You need to have one in your plastic sleeve folder and one taped, because you have no clue which one that the accompanist is actually going to prefer more. So make sure that you have those copies plus your one that you are going to have, that you can write everything down that you need to, and that will actually help you be even more prepared for your audition. And also, one last thing very quickly, make sure that your sheet music is in the right key. There is nothing worse than grabbing sheet music, having it printed out, having it all in a folder, and then you get to an accompanist and it is in the wrong key, especially in the middle of an audition. It is honestly one of the most awkward moments when you've gone into an audition and you handed them sheet music and then they play it and you go, oh, that's not my starting note. Oh gosh. Avoid that situation. Make sure that your sheet music is in the right key. And those are the tips I have to help you with your sheet music for your auditions. That's it for this video, guys. If there are any tips and tricks that you've used with your sheet music to help you with your auditions, please comment them down below, let me know, and share the knowledge with everybody so that we all have a bit more knowledge about sheet music and what to do with it for our auditions. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. As always, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and click the notification bell so that you can see more videos coming your way. That's it for now. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.